Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my City General Conference this morning. While I was on my run, I was listening to the final talk of the 1932 October General Conference, and Anthony W. Ivins, who's the first counselor in the first presidency, was speaking. Now, it's important to understand that the prophet at the time was sick, and so he wasn't there. And so the first counselor was basically running the entire conference. And so this final address was more or less the main address of the General Conference. And in this address, the first counselor stands up. This is equivalent to Down I Chokes. And he quotes Ezekiel, where he says that if you don't warn the people of the danger, the Lord will hold you accountable. And that's what the Lord told the prophet Ezekiel. And he goes, this way is on my heart. And so it is my duty to warn you. And he just goes in and gives one of the most prophetic warning talks I have ever heard. He talks about the fact that we are approaching what he referred to as a paternal government, a government that is going to seek to entrench itself so deeply in our lives that it will never be able to be outrooted, a government that will spend itself into a debt that will never be able to be repaid. He then talks about the fact that Stephen L. Richards, in the previous session of the General Conference, had talked about the need for citizens to audit the government to get rid of the waste and the abuse, kind of like Doge. But he talked about that we need those things to happen. But then he said, he even went further. He goes, many of our elected officials swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and immediately go out and break it. And he said that if it was him doing that, he would know that he had perjured himself and that the proper course of action was to be impeached. And he said that that is going to be required if we are to clean house. And he just goes on and he talks about the fact that the government is reaching a critical mass in 1932. That if they did continue down this course of the paternal or the nanny state where the government is in charge of the welfare, in charge of every aspect of your life, that it would become a beast that could not be tamed. And he goes, we can't do this, because if we do, it will never be able to be beaten back. But then he said something that was interesting. He goes, but we have a promise. We have a promise that the Lord will protect us and he will preserve us so long as this people honor him. So long as this people, not the American people in whole, but the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints would be the leavening agent that could save all of America. And so listening to this talk, I'm just like, my goodness, we were warned. We were thoroughly warned. We were warned before the whole catastrophic welfare system of the United States of America was created, before they had Social Security that's bankrupting us, before they had all of these entitlements that are going to literally destroy our economy and our dollar. We had the prophets and apostles saying, guys, this is a bad idea. If you do it, you will pay a price, and your children and your grandchildren will pay a bigger price. And here I stand as a grandchild of the people back then, and now we have to pay the price.